Hi, my name is Victor Green and I'm an applicant for the candidacy of the Conservative Party of Canada in the riding of Windsor-Tecumseh. Soon, as I understand it, to become the riding of Windsor-Tecumseh-Lakeshore as elections candidate extend our boundary east of the Manning Road as far as the Puce River. Today I want to talk to you about the dreaded carbon tax, and in spite of the Liberal government's attempt at rebranding it and calling it the Canada Carbon Rebate, we will always know it as the carbon tax until such times as the Conservative Party of Canada get rid of it after their landslide majority victory in the next federal election. What I'd like to do today is I'd like to just point out a couple of aspects of the carbon tax which I'm guessing many of you already know, but for the sake of those that don't know, I just want to go with you over my last bill and point out a few aspects of it with you. Now, when we look at this bill, we can see quite obviously that the federal carbon charge on this bill is $32.96. We can see that with the other additions and the other bits and pieces, that comes to charges for natural gas of $127.18. The HST, which is applied to the 127.18 at the rate of 13%, comes out as $16.54. What this means is, if you'll notice, that the HST is applied after the carbon tax, i.e. we're paying 13% HST on carbon tax. What this means is that we're paying a tax on a tax. Now, my apologies to all of those that already knew this, but I wanted to make sure that everybody was aware of it, because there's a lot of people in my riding that wasn't aware of that, and so now everybody should be able to share that and get the full knowledge of it. Now, what's happening on the 1st of April, which coincidentally is April Fool's Day, and the government do indeed think that we're quite foolish, but we're not. We're very smart people. On April Fool's Day this year, this carbon tax increases by 23%. And what I want to do for you now is just have a look at that very same bill, what it would look like after April the 1st. Let's examine it together. So now the federal carbon charge of $32.96 has increased to $40.54. which makes a total of 127.18 going up to 134.76 with the increase. The HST on that $134.76 is now $21.81, which is the tax on tax. And so my new bill from April the 1st, instead of it being $143.72, is now going to be $156.57. And so that is the issue that we're dealing with in relation to the increase on the 1st of April. And we know that these price rises on carbon tax are supposed to be about fossil fuels. That's coal, oil, natural gas, diesel, gasoline, that type of thing. But the consequences of having a carbon tax levied against those items goes right across the board, because the farmer uses gasoline or diesel in his combine harvester and in his tractors. The trucker uses diesel in his trucks to deliver the food. Everything goes up when carbon tax on fossil fuels go up. And so therefore it is inflationary. And make no mistake about it, this is a tax. It's not a rebate. It's a sneaky, insidious tax. Now, why does the government need to put this tax on your home heating and other items? And that's because they're $10.5 trillion in debt. How did they end up being $10.5 trillion in debt? And very simply, because the government couldn't run a lemonade stand on the Ignacio Trail during the height of summer. And so therefore the money has been printed and the money has rolled away from them. But the government needs every dime it can get. And carbon tax is part of that. So make no mistake about it. We know that in China, the pollution is so terrible that in some cities, people going to work can't even hardly see their hand in front of their face. And yet it's us that is paying the carbon tax. And so the CPC brought a motion to axe the tax. But your local Member of Parliament, Eirik Kazmierczyk, voted against that motion and voted to keep the tax for you. This is the guy who is nothing more than Trudeau's puppet and does everything that he's told to do. And so I would say support my application for the candidacy, visit my website, have a look at my bio, find out a little bit about me, and decide whether or not you feel that I would be the right person to represent you in Ottawa. And you have to be a member of the Conservative Party to be able to select me as your candidate. And if I'm selected as your candidate, I'll work tooth and nail to win this seat for you, which hasn't been won for 93 years. And also, I will work tooth and nail up in Ottawa to represent you as well and make sure that you're getting a fair deal. And so, please support my website and together, let's axe the tax.